if also like maybe it's gonna sound stupid, but like I don't know, I feel I have like this kind of like relationship that I need to build in order to feel, like okay with myself, like I need to like solve this problem. But if I can give, like that satisfaction, I don't know, like if I need to make like some calls, if I need to deal with this vendor, with this dealer, with this, I don't know, whatever, like, and if I can solve that and it's like, hey, like here's your problem, like it's resolved and all that stuff, that really, like gives me like, like okay, the motivation like to keep going. And also, like, not gonna lie, maybe it's like out of context, but I don't know, like if I can travel because of that, like that literally like gives me like more motivation, like if I like, oh, that's fine, like I don't know, I need to go and see this client, like and like get to know him, like in person, like face to face. We already have, like some couple literally like of like chats, like face to face, like maybe, like meetings, but like we have like this gathering to get to know like I don't know, more about like the company or and all that stuff. Like, I don't know, like sign, like a contract. I think that really like motivates me, like to like keep going. That's something that I really like because it's not something like maybe, yeah, like professionally and also like personally, like who doesn't like, like travel or whatever, but if you're doing this because of work at the same time, I think that's a good fit, or that's something that really like gives me, like I really enjoy that. I don't know if literally like that's why you're like, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, that's
that's
cool.
that.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. There's no like, there's no wrong answer. I'm just um, trying to understand and learn more about you.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, you know, there isn't going to be much travel in this portion of, with this job.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, as of right now, I don't really see that as being a like a bonus. So I hope that's okay because I don't really, yeah. I mean, other than I want there to be vacations for other people, and I have certain plans of, I want to, for instance, I want to have like a summer vacation for everyone and fly them somewhere fun and we all like have fun together. But other than that, I don't really see like much travel.
No, I
Um,
know, I know. I mean, I was just sharing, like, obviously, because that's something that I like to do, like, I know that sometimes, like, there is no, like, an opportunity, like, in those kind of jobs, but I think that it's good, like, sometimes it's just, like, nice to get to know, like, maybe, like, the team or whatever, like, because I know that sometimes it's just weird, like, working, like, through, like, a laptop and stuff. So like that's that. I'm not saying like, oh my God, yeah, you have this trip, like to Africa and stuff. Like, no, like sometimes
yeah,
yes, but you know what I mean, right?
for sure.
So
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
that.
That's cool. Okay, and then let's see. What is I say I was gonna do? Um, okay. If so, from what I under, do you feel like you have a clear idea of what the role is for this position?
I think that yes. I will obviously like to ask you like if you can give me. I know that you give me like some context like in our previous chat, but what I'm thinking about it is like what are literally like the tasks, or maybe like if you can be like more specific about like what are the things that I need to do, like, okay, we have like these goals. So you just need to be like in charge of like, I don't know, like answer to like whatever these guys, or like you
Yeah,
just need to like be up to date in my email, like I just want to know
yeah,
like in a daily basis, like what will be, like my role, like to
yeah,
support you,
totally.
so
I actually wanted to talk to you about that because it's um, there's the role that I need, there's not really like a clear definition of it
got
on,
it.
and so I guess I want to further explain what I'm looking for and where I expect it to be. So um, I need someone to help me like fill out all of the standard operation procedures for the company. So
Mhm.
essentially building the we're building a board game, and then we need to design the rules to the board game, and then we're gathering all the pieces of the board game, and so I need help building and designing this board game. And so
Right.
and it's we don't know exactly what it looks like. um but there will be a definitive role, and the role that I've recently decided that I didn't even know until this last week, but it's really sales. Like, I need someone permanently in sales. Or not permanently. I feel like anyone will sort of help build out systems, but like right now, I think I don't want to say like lower skilled, but um I don't know, phones phones online chat and social media marketing, I think, belong to one position. This is my thought. And I have someone in mind that I wouldn't mind bringing in after this position is filled, to fill that position. So she would answer the phone, she'd be the support online for chats, and then she would also do like the social media marketing with our help, right? With our guidance, and say, hey, these are the things that we want to do. I need you to send 100 messages to 100 contractors every single day and do this
Got it.
thing. Go. That's going to be like your side work. But we need to build the rules for her, and so that's one portion. And then another portion is, um, I need help with sales. So once we get the lead, we need to get this person to fill out an online form. It's called an intake form, and then we need to take this information and to put it into, I use Chat GBT. I build an agent. It's just like you just put in some information
Mhm.
for like a container file, and then it pumps out something, and it gives them a quote, even a price, and deliverables, all this stuff. um, and then I send those out. And so the goal is we want 30% of those proposals to be accepted. 30% or more. I was getting 100% of my proposals accepted, and that's too high of a percentage, because that just means I'm not charging enough. And so when there's a price discrepancy. So I've been like, following my price discrepancy, figuring out like where the balance lies. But 30% is really where we want to be at. And so eventually, I want that to be like the system. I want to have someone like yourself in a position where you're taking calls with the clients, you're understanding their needs, you're directing them to fill out the form, and knowing what essentially really knowing the inner workings of the company and what we do, and being able to direct them to get an accurate intake form. And so like that's sort of like the goal. Like, we want to be able to assess what their situation is, to evaluate if it's a good fit for us or if it's not. Because I want to be turning away a lot of people, actually, because there's a lot of projects I don't want to do, like things that are like stop work orders, or when they started doing a project without a permit, and then the city comes and says, hey, we want you to stop. I don't want to take those projects. They're messy. They should have called me from the beginning. And so they're just like, they're too messy. They're just too much. Uh, it takes too much effort and time that isn't worth it. So anyway, um, that'll be something that needs to be figured out. The whole CRM, tracking that information into the CRM, and then building a system for that. Also, it will be figuring out and streamlining better ways to do things. So, I pay people in a certain way, like I pay them through Remitly and Wise. And I need to analyze, different programs that we're using to get a system built where it's easier for everyone, And so anyway, it's not exactly defined, but I think there will be like a primary task where it'll be pretty much sales. Like there'll be, once I let let it loose, there will be a lot of sales coming in, and I'll have to pull it back too, because there'll be too much work. But I want that to be like the primary goal, and then there'll be like all these secondary and tertiary goals that will accompany like the rest of the time. But yeah, does that make it a little bit more clear?
Yeah. Oh, yes, because I lost you. Like my internet is a little bit choppy, but I think it's all right. Yeah. Okay. Like the first thing, like I completely get it. Like it's sales, but obviously when it's sales, it's not me in charge of like selling stuff, right? When you say that, it's not like me, like kind of trying like to push, like the clients to, like because I don't
You're
like those
just
kind of sales, to be fair.
no, no.
Um,
It's
it's not like, hey, like we're selling this product. Like, I just don't want to be in that kind of position because I don't really enjoy doing that. Like I just want to be clear, like in that.
totally. I
Um,
don't enjoy that either. It's not. All we're doing is telling them what we do. The product sells itself. It's not a
yeah.
We're
Kind of
just
just like
letting.
inviting them, like just like to know, like maybe the product, like if they are interested, like, okay, then we like make, like this like step with them, like
Totally. It's
got it.
it's literally like a conversation might go like this. Hey, tell me about your project. And they say, well, I'm doing a garage. I want to build a new garage in my backyard, and I don't even know what to do. Like I have no idea. I can't find a contractor. I don't even know like the first step. And then we would say, okay, great. Well, just to let you know about us, we are a team of architects. We provide permit services that include the drawing set, the submission and tracking of all the forms, and we provide free revisions until your project is approved. If this is something you're interested in, you can fill out an intake form, and then we'll get you a quote for services. It's a fixed fee. And then you can decide if you'd like to work with us. And so
Good.
that's it.
Sounds good. And then, like for example, like these kind of people, or maybe like the leads. I know that obviously they're coming from maybe like the like website, like social media and all that stuff. Like I know that you mentioned like, oh, we need to send like I don't know like 100 like messages and stuff and all and whatever. Like is that something that I'm gonna be like in charge of, like to trying to find like some prospects that they will be like yeah.
I mean,
Is that
it
or
it
how that
points
lead
it
that works?
points that'll be so we have to build the system for the rule. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to work in the category first to know how to direct it. And so yes, for a short amount of time you will. I mean, I don't know what the time is, but for an amount of time, you will have to work in that to understand the inner workings of what is required, to build the system. But eventually, once the system is built and we say, okay, we're ready, we got this whole thing done, let's hire. Okay, cool. And you tell me, hey, we're gonna hire someone for social media marketing, and then we're gonna start working on that. So you're gonna interview people, and we're gonna find the best candidate to fill this position, and then we're gonna get them in their position, and then and then it's going to be they're going to look up to you for advice, and you're going to strategize and have meetings with them, and eventually you're going to have someone like on the phones. I imagine for a short while it'll be a phone person who does the chat and the social media, and so that person will be one person, and eventually it might be two people. It might be a direction, like there's going to be a point where eventually I could see a person, a leading the voice of the company, and it could be you could be the face of the company. I don't really see it as me. I mean, it could be. I'm just not really like a TV personality. I don't feel super,
An
I don't know.
influencer. No, just
Yeah, I don't really want to be an influencer, but I do understand the value in that. There really is like a tremendous value in being, it's the cheapest marketing there is out there. I mean, it's like the value of social media is just like is just incredible, you know, and so it's a really,
Yeah.
really high value product that can, you know, that we can leverage and use. And so that will be potentially, I mean, I don't know. I need like strategies, and I need, you know, people to, you know, I just sell the hot dogs. You know, I'm just like the baker. I know how like this what the secret ingredient is, but I need everyone else to be able to like, okay, well, you want to sell these hot dogs, you know, you got to have marketing, you got to have like a front person, and you know, and whatever. And I think like there could be an opportunity in that. I think there's like
Mhm.
a lot of different roles, but um, you know, we're just like figuring out what the baseline looks like, what the first layer of the cake, you know, condensed, and we say, okay, we got our marketing, we got our CRM, we have our sales pipeline down, we got this, and then I'm going to be able to I'm going to replace myself, you know, as far right now I do a lot of you know, I'm the only architect in Seattle, so I do a lot of the technical stuff, do a lot of the client communication, and I want to be able to remove myself from the client communication and just work on the business from an outsider perspective, and you know, and with you, and working on, you know, like high level things, you know, and say,
Mhm.
okay, well, let's get the workers working, keep them working and doing their things. But also sometimes I'm gonna have to do the dishes, you know, and clean the floor, and like that's just like how it is. And so you know, metaphorically speaking. And so that's like that's the attitude I'm looking for, is that, you know, you'll be able to
Perfect.
come in and
What do
do that.
you use? Sorry, the CRM, do you use what? You know, like Salesforce, or what do you use? So you don't have, you know, like a
I mean,
platform here.
we have a HubSpot, but
HubSpot.
I've never really used it.
Got it.
And so there's like there really is no CRM. And there is no social media marketing. I've done like 3 posts, and I can't even figure out how to link my accounts, because, or I mean, I just like I haven't spent enough time to figure out like how to schedule and stuff. And I'm sure I could, but I just like have other stuff going on. So I need
Let me
someone to
tell you
help with
that
that.
literally that's a lot of work. Like, to be fair, you know, like there is like a lot of like things, you
Oh,
know,
I
like
know.
that involves, you know, like in social media. Like for sure, even though, you know, like I'm telling you, like I love social media, I love literally like post stuff, but I always take, you know, like I don't know, like more than 4 hours, you know, like maybe like to see, you know, like what are like like, you know, like the picture that I want to post, like the caption, you know, like what I'm gonna this and that, you know, like there are so many stuff that you just need to sort that out, and people think that obviously it's easy, even though it looks easy. It's not that easy, you know, because there's like a complete, you know, like whole procedure, you know, like just apart from just like posting, or just like to have like, yeah, you know, like yeah, I mean, the people that we just want to like shoot like in a certain way, you know, like, yeah, like our public, we can call it that way. So
Yeah.
that's that. I think, I mean, yes, like I completely understand, obviously, you know, like for now, I think that it's a little bit like super open, you know, like what is like the tasks and the responsibilities. I completely understand that it's a little bit just like, you know, like all over the place, if we can call it that way, because there's like a lot of things that you need to figure it out in a certain way, which I'm happy to help, obviously, but at the same time, you know, like again, it's like, it's so open. I'm not afraid of that, because I love to take, you know, like, you know, like this kind of like challenge in a certain way. It's like, you know, like interesting to get to like in a different, you know, like sector and all that stuff, and you know, like working with you. But then again, have you ever think about it, like, you know, like about you know, like the, yeah, like the salary and stuff, or
Yeah.
you haven't? Because there's like a lot of things that I know, like, and I completely get it, that maybe, you know, like we're gonna have like this support, yeah, I don't know, we shall see, we need to talk about it, like sales and then social media and whatever and marketing, but we are just literally, we need to build something from zero, right? Like right now we are just talking like we are gonna, yeah, you know, like we're
Yeah.
just gonna start from like nothing, if we can call it that way.
Yep.
So I see it like a challenge, but there's like a lot of things that are involved, you know. So in order like to have everything sorted, it's gonna be a long path, but in a good way, you know.
Yep.
I see
Yep.
it that way. So there's a challenge, but at the same time, it's like I just want to talk about that with you. I know that you told me that, you know, yeah, like, but I don't know. I just want to touch base regarding that and see what are you at, and then yeah, I mean, think about it,
For
so
sure. Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't.
well, so regarding salary, you mentioned you mentioned you wanted to be in the 30,000 pesos range.
Yeah, obviously, like that's what I'm earning right now. So obviously, like what I was like kind of like thinking is like I want to earn a little bit, like above of that. Like those are my expectation. I completely understand that. Obviously, maybe you're not in that position, and I completely get it and I respect that. I just want to know like if that's something that maybe like I'm willing to do this, sorry. Like I'm willing to have, like this like challenge, and I'm willing because I know that like I know that I can do this. But at the same time, it's just like, is that something that maybe we can just like figure it out in a certain way? Like that's what I'm earning right now, but is that something that really like maybe I can get, like a higher, like offer, like to be like a little bit
Sure.
not motivated, but just like win to win, like
Yep.
obviously it's a job, I completely get it, but it's just like something that is like, okay, that really excites me. Like this is something like a good opportunity, like to grow, to bring my abilities, my skills, and all that stuff. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like it's just like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I completely get it, like
Yeah. Totally.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely on like the upper crest. And so I know like if everything works, it won't be a problem. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like starting out, I mean, everything is like sort of, we're always like at a loss, so like training is a loss, and like figuring out things are going to work out also. Like there's we don't I've I've probably hired like, I think I've hired I don't want to scare you or anything, but I've hired people and I've fired them the next day because they didn't well, first of all, they were like already talking down to the team, and they were
Mm-hmm.
like thinking that they were like above them, and and they just like automatically just like it just didn't work out, like that we can
Yeah.
already tell. But I don't say that to scare you or anything, but it's like I really want to make sure there's like a good fit. If it's a good
Mm-hmm.
fit, I'm totally willing to come to the table. But I think like fit is more important than, like, I think the salary, I mean, depending on how much you're looking for,
Yeah.
like would you be willing to I mean, would you be willing to go with 30,000 for like the first 6 months or something, and then we decide on another, you know, or just have a metric and say, hey, if A, B, and C and our targets are met and we're meeting expectations, then we can decide on a salary of X, and like, is
Got it.
that something you're willing to do?
Can we do this? Like, I don't know, like, yeah, I'm willing to do it. Like, what about, like 35? Like, it's like a win to win, like I'm earning 30, but right now, like I'm just like 35, like, and then we go from there. And then, like completely agree that we can have a chat, like in 6 months. Does that work, like in a certain way?
Right. Let me see that. Um, yeah, I mean, are you saying starting at 35?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, you don't need to decide, like right now. I know that obviously, like you need to make, like some maths and stuff. I
Yeah,
completely get it. I mean, I just wanted to bring it to the table, like over the, I mean, it's just like 5,000, like pesos, like extra that I'm just earning right now, like obviously I'm gonna
yeah,
make this like kind of big this change. I don't think that I'm asking like for too much, obviously. If not, I will say like 40 and I will be like, okay, I'm down, like I'm in, like obviously I'm making this change. I'm obviously like kind of like have this like challenge and all that stuff. Like, why not? Like that will be like a very good
sure,
thing. So I don't think that I'm asking for too much, but again, like I'm open and I'm super, like you can think about it and then, like, yeah, you let me
sure.
know.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Well, all right. So on this topic, on asking for things, how just to kind of get back to like interview questions,
okay.
how open are you to feedback? Um,
Super open. Like I'm always literally, I always try to like feedback. I think it's a good thing, like 100%. I'm always,
okay.
like willing like to listen and then like see like what's the other, like side. Like maybe you don't see it, right? Like you can say like, oh, I can make these things, like better, like I can improve in this, but I'm always, like willing to like listen, like what's the feedback, like 100%. I don't think that's something bad.
Cool. Good. Well, if I have some feedback, let's do it. Let's do a test. If I also am like open to feedback, and surprisingly, no one really gives me feedback, but I truly do want to make myself like the best version of myself as possible, and so not many people give me any critical comments, besides my wife, but I think I'm totally open to it. But if I were to ask you to um, reduce the amount of times you say like in a sentence, would that offend you?
What do you mean, that reduce, like say that again, like give me a little bit more context,
Yeah.
please.
So sure, sure. And if it if I were to ask you to adjust your language and to reduce the amount of times the word like is said during a conversation, would that be offensive to you?
I don't think so. I mean, that's something obviously I maybe I say like too many times. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay,
I
cool.
think that no, I
I say it
mean,
too
I
many
wouldn't
times
be.
too. I try not to. It's like a filler word. Like, I mean, it's already ingrained in us. But
Yeah.
and I see it maybe as potentially like maybe you're a little nervous or something, and maybe or whatever. Maybe you're not nervous, but in either
No, no.
case, I don't think it, and I know this from myself, it weakens my language. And so whenever I say like, I try to reduce it, because I am prone to saying like and using it as a filler word. And I'm always like, okay, stop saying this word. I'm going to work on it. Is that something you'd be willing to, like come to the
Yeah,
table?
I can try, obviously. Like
Okay.
there are things like it's exactly the same in Spanish, like and you see, like I say. But
I,
then
I
even
say it
though,
too.
like when I say like, then I say, okay, like my head is just like, okay, I don't need to say that. But I mean, you need to like work on it.
Totally.
It's not something that's gonna happen like in the next 3 days because maybe you are used to it. But it's exactly the same in Spanish. Like I use that word pretty often, or like other words that I know that maybe I just need to like, okay, switch that. Like kind of like. But that's
I
something that is
know.
like, it's tricky. It's tricky. You can try 100%. Um, you just need to work on it.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
cannot promise anything, to be fair. Like I'm human.
Totally. Me
You
totally. I,
know,
I I think just I think a small reduction, and it wouldn't, even just kind of keeping it like in the brain a little bit will reduce it a lot. I mean, already even before I said it, you stop saying it. Like right when we started talking, it was abundant, and then it kind of
got it.
fell off. And anyway, I only mention it because, yeah, language is important and communication is key. And it's really, you know, commanding a strong voice and being able to communicate with clients and show that we are you know, professionals is a portion of the company that is going to need to be strengthened, and on my end too. You know, I'm
Mhm.
pretty I don't know. I'm pretty lax about everything, and I call people dude, and you know, I'm pretty, but also I can feel people out, which I think you can too. You can tell if people are, you know, if it's a relaxed environment or if it's not, or anyway.
I think it depends. I think it depends. Like when you are just like,
It's okay. Don't worry about it now. I'm
like
not
randomly,
gonna.
I'm just thinking about it, and then I think it's like I think, yeah, it's something
It's
that is gonna
okay.
be,
It's okay. And I think
and
it's a
I'm just gonna be like 100% sure, like being honest. I'm never, like,
don't hey
I'm
don't
never,
worry about it. Don't worry
I'm
about it.
never
Okay.
nervous about, like,
Okay.
never. Like I'm always like chill vibes. Like what it is, it is. Like it's gonna happen.
Cool. Cool.
So yeah.
All right.
Um. Yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends with who
Cool.
you are talking.
Sounds good. And I apologize to put you on the spot. I just thought I
No,
would
it's
use
alright.
a first example and see. And again, I criticize myself too. Like I always say and I try to reduce the amount of times as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible. But it's also it's totally part of everyone's language. It's just it feels it just feels additive when it's used in a quantity more than X. I don't even know what that quantity is, but
Mm-hmm.
when you hear it more often, then you notice it more. But it's part of our language. We use it all the time. So all right.
Got it.
Back to business. So we're going to be creating processes from scratch. What's an example of a process that you've created from scratch?
For example, I remember this. It was something maybe small, but I remember that we had this issue with the analytics team. We always have like to send, sorry if I say like, to be fair, like it's a little bit
I'm
tricky
gonna
for me,
stop you.
like
I'm
just
gonna
to,
stop you. Don't worry about it, and don't apologize about saying like. It's not a now thing. You can say like as many times as you want, and I'm not gonna criticize you. And I would never. I would just brought it. I brought it as a real life example because I wanted to see. I wanted to see how you respond. So it's sort of
yeah. No, but
it's a
right now it's
test.
not that I'm worried, but I'm just like, oh, like it's it's
Don't
tough.
worry about it. Don't worry, and stop apologizing. It's okay.
Okay, so we send these codes to analytics, and my boss, he used to like receive all of these emails, and then he was like, it was a pain in the ass, to be fair, because we needed to send those codes, and maybe like we needed to, I don't know, it was like 12 a.m. in the morning, whatever p.m., and these guys they were working, and my boss needed to send those codes. So obviously, like I was like, okay, guys, we need to implement a new system. So obviously he can just like remove himself, and then it can be, like directly maybe to receive it in the analytics, like email, or, like send it, like via Slack. So what we did is I get together with the tech team and with, yeah, like our internal team. And I was like, okay, I was just like doing this research. I have like these three options. I don't know which one is like the best that maybe we can connect it with the Slack and also with the email. So we got this one that it's called, I don't remember the name. I don't even remember the name of this software, but then we use Zapier, that it was literally like to connect, like with the Slack. So every time that we receive, like this code, instead of just like being directly to the email of my boss, it was directly to Slack. So every time that these guys like click on it, like we just like, it was something pretty small, but it was a, like something that changed in like his life, like to be fair. It was like, okay, that's fine. I don't want to have, like be the one sending these codes, like it's all right. So I made the research. I get together with the tech team. We got in this call, like we needed to do like this training with this guy of this, like company. I sign only the contract, like obviously, like I present like these quotes to the CEO and I'm like, hey, this is how it's gonna work. Like obviously we did like a little bit of like testing, and then yeah, we kind of like develop, like that software, and then we put it like everything in an SOP, like so every time we have like a new hire in the analytics team, he knew how it's literally like all of this process. Like, okay, that's fine. You are just gonna receive it like automatically in Slack.
Mm,
So that's
cool.
that.
I love it. Yeah. I love Zapier too. I zap shit all the time. It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
so freaking cool. And like you create it, it's so cool because you could just type things and say what you want, and then the thing just freaking creates it out of nowhere. It's just like
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. I just can't believe how crazy it is. I built one from scratch, and then I tried just typing in what I want, and then it just fucking created it. And I was just like, this is the best shit I've ever seen in my life.
I remember now the name of the it's Simple Texting. Yeah, it's just like a marketing service and texting platform. We use that. So yeah, we created, like a X number, and then yeah, like every time that we, like we needed a code to like the CRM or whatever something, it was just directly, like Simple Texting. We received that notification in the Slack channel, and then it was just like connecting with Zapier and something like that. I don't know. I'm not from the tech support team, whatever, like I just made like those connections. So those guys were literally like the magicians, and I just did, like the other like admin stuff, like trying to find
Cool.
like the best platform so we can create or solve, like a problem in this certain way. So
I love that. That's a great answer. I
that's that.
really, that's exactly what I'm looking for, is like
Yeah.
being able to identify things and come up with a creative solution, and and figuring it out, and like however it happens. But you actually answered a lot of questions I had in that one, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Um, well, I mean, on that same thing, I mean, so we're gonna we're gonna be potentially we're gonna be working together a lot, and like coming up with strategies and trying to figure out the best way to do this thing, because I mean, I don't want to how am I gonna say this, like I don't want to like I don't want to boast and say that I have like the best idea on the freaking planet, but like there I've essentially created like a new hot dog flavor, and no one's ever heard of this hot dog flavor. And whenever like when people find out we have this hot dog, they're like, "Oh my God, this fucking hot dog is so delicious. I want this hot dog," but they haven't ever experienced it. And so like I guess I want to know that like you are you would be interested in helping build this, because I truly do believe that it could be like it could be something really big, like really big. And because this service is just not it's not offered to anyone in the US.
Mhm.
People don't even participate in this world. The market is completely open. It everyone wants it, but no one can access it. And so like how many times in life have like you've been able to provide a service that people want, and that doesn't exist anywhere else. And so anyway, does that excite you, or is that something you want to be a part of?
Of course, like I think that it's something maybe you're saying like, oh, it's maybe like something small, like, like obviously, it can be, like, but at the same time, like if you think about it, like it can be, like something really cool, to be fair, like even though you're saying like you are just starting to build this and, like we're a small company or whatever, like, but I think that could be, like very exciting. I think I have been, like in this process before, like also with a Mexican, like what long time ago, like, when I was in uni, like I was working with this colleague that he was just like, trying to build like this platform to help, like Mexican artists and all that stuff. So it was just like something very small. But then I remember, well, obviously, like I'm like, yeah, like I decided like to move abroad, like from Mexico, and then he was like starting his own build system and like his company, and now he's doing great, like, and yeah, they have passed like what, like more than 18 years, and now he's just like wow, I was like, oh, that's super cool, like I wish that I could stay, like for a little bit longer, but obviously, like there I was still, like in uni and all that stuff, so it was just a different path, like, but it was very interesting. We had just a couple of like what was it, like clients, but it was like super nice, like it was cool.
What was the name of the company?
Bella House.
Bella House?
Yeah, Bella House. So it was like, yeah, to Mexican like crafts and also, and we do like these kind of like events, and it was really nice. It was something small, but it was really nice, and I really enjoyed it because I was like part of like public relations and then vendors, and we have like this event, and like sending the invites, having like these meetings with the clients. I don't know, so yeah, I work with obviously as well with, do you know like Tequila Cuervo?
No, what is that?
Well, it's like a tequila brand,
Oh,
but it's very,
tequila.
it's a
Oh,
Cuervo,
tequila cuero.
Tequila Cuervo. Yeah. So I remember
Okay.
that I literally like contact them. Like it's super tough because there is a big brand, like in Mexico and also like international. And then I was like, hey guys, we're having this cocktail party because they're coming, like different like artists from like the, different states of Mexico. And I want you guys like to give us some, like free cocktails. And they were like, oh, that's fine. Tell us a little bit more about what you do, like introduce yourself. And I did great. And I was like, what, 18? So like that was 10 years ago. I'm 28. So it was really nice, like for someone that it was like 18, like contacting these guys from like marketing and then just like trying to sell this. So it was really nice. And then we had like these free cocktails for like 3 hours. They have like these big tables preparing margaritas and whatever for obviously, like our clients and everything. So it was really nice. I really enjoy that. Like that's something that maybe is gonna a little bit more like event planning, but just like a mix of everything. I was just like doing like lots of things, but I really enjoy like do that. So
Cool. Awesome.
I think that
Yeah.
I have been always been like that, like very like energetic, like, oh, we're gonna do this. Okay, I'm down. Like we're gonna do this. Okay, it's fine. Even though maybe I don't have like lots of like notion about what is it, but I can have like the keys and the tools and whatever, and then just like start to building. It's like yeah,
Yeah.
I just start building from like nothing.
Well, great. I mean, I think that's the kind of interest that is going to be needed and necessary to help build, something great. I also think it's going to be a lot of, I, I don't know, it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, I love learning new things, and I love learning like new aspects of business, and this part really excites me too because. Um, like I don't want to do architecture forever. I don't like this isn't uh I don't I have a lot of interests, like I'm in a band, and I'm a sailor, and I'm also like learning to fly planes, and I'm like I just do a bunch of shit in my life where I just have a bunch of I just like this life is way too short, and also
Yeah.
building a business is one portion of it. And yes, I'm an architect, but I'm also like disinterested with doing architecture. I just want to explore, the world. And I think marketing is super exciting to me, like right now. And like learning, it's sort of like a video game. You're just like learning how to push this button, and
You go
it
from
ends
there.
up yeah, I mean, life is pretty much is this a game. And so I think it's a cool process, and I think this is another portion of the cool process. I think it could be really rewarding, um, academically and financially. I
Mhm.
see a lot of, if all the if everyone at this stage of the company, if we can figure out this system and we can grow it, like all tides will rise, and all incomes will rise too, including mine. And I want everyone's income to rise. I want everyone to make money, and I want this to be a fruitful business for everyone. I want to, there's enough money to go around if it works out. And
Yeah.
so I really do see like a humongous potential for a sustainable company that I don't know, that could be really something great. So
Yeah, for sure.
um,
And also, I just have another question. I don't know if you have
yeah,
like any more questions, but right now I'm just thinking about it.
please.
Like for example, do you guys have like meetings? Do you have like a daily touch base? I don't know, like if we're gonna like work together, like we're gonna touch base like in a certain, like time, like right now. What else? Like hope.
We meet every day.
Okay,
Um,
got it. Sounds
we
good.
meet every day, 8 a.m. my time, and then
Mm-hmm.
10 a.m. your time.
Got it. And then, for example, and apart from that, there are like any other meetings, like just to catch up, or it's just like that one that is like the mainly like with all of
Just
the team
whenever
members.
the Indian team, they just send goodbye messages once a
Got it.
day. It like it the they just sent their messages. It's
Got it.
they're done at 12 p.m.
Yeah, got it.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Because
then
of the time difference.
yeah, and then Sarah and Diego's in Mexico City, and then Sarah's over in Torreon, and so yeah, they're done at 4 p.m.
Mm,
Um,
got it.
and yeah, which is like 6 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
Um, and
No,
that's
yeah, I'm
typically
just
been the schedule.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just telling you this, like, I like it's fine, like, but it's like, are you like flexible, like in those kind of ways? Because like sometimes, like, as I mentioned, like I do like to travel. That's not an issue for me, like I have been like working remotely, like
Oh yeah.
what?
So
But like for
Donna, she just got back from Germany, and
yeah, there you go.
she was working in
Exactly.
Germany for like the last month.
Yeah,
She was
that's what I'm saying.
visiting her
Like
brother, and
sometimes,
that's totally cool. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay, got it, got it, got it. Yeah, I was just like thinking like sometimes, because of the time difference, like you need to work. I know, like if you deliver stuff and all and everything, like everything is all right. But sometimes I know that because of the time difference, it's a little bit like
Yeah. Travel's
complicated,
perfectly cool. As long as you get your stuff done
Yeah,
and
your stuff done.
you're available to, make your metrics. I have a lot of goals too. Like I want to take Fridays off for one, because I want Fridays off. So I don't want anyone to work on Fridays eventually. I want I want us to work really freaking hard during the week, and then just take Fridays off and have a 3-day weekend, and then everyone gets everyone has vacation time, 3 weeks vacation, so it's all paid, wherever
Hmm.
you go, which is like kind of normal for a company. But I don't know if
Yeah,
you have paid vacation in your current company, but um, I think I think vacation is of the utmost importance, because it's just like we don't work is an extension of ourselves, and it shouldn't define who you are. We need it. We need it to survive, to pay our bills and all that stuff. But it's also, it's important to take time off and, have that moment. So
yeah, and also for like mental health, for
mental
sure.
health. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think it's important to get paid. These should be paid, because you should not be at a hardship for taking care of yourself, and and doing your mental health exercises by vacating and getting drunk in Cabo or whatever you want to do. um
yeah. Okay,
so
got
yeah.
it.
Yep.
Perfect.
um
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I think I got I understand enough about you, and like what you're, it seems like, you know we're we don't really know until we work with each other. Like you don't really know me until we work together. You'd be like, oh, Ben's an asshole, or or like but I really I try my hardest to make myself like really the best version of myself, and always try to um everyone treat everyone with respect. And I don't, obviously I can, um I'm human, so I will, I'll lose my temper sometimes. But I usually don't. And anyway, I don't want to, and I always try to learn from my experiences, and I expect other people to lose their temper too, or get frustrated with something. But anyway, I don't expect it to be like a toxic environment. Your voice will be heard, and I mean, it'll be necessary. I mean, you're going to be a very, very key component to the company if you decide to do this. So,
Good.
but yeah,
When you say, like you lose your temper, like it's like very easy, like you to like go like oh frustrated about like oh my god I have a lot of like meetings whatever and all stuff and then you just like kind of like uh yeah like that frustration like I don't know if we jump in a call and you're like oh my god and then you have like this like bad attitude is that something that really like happens because I know that sometimes people when it's like frustrated like they get like out of like that rage and they're
yeah.
like I'm
I
like
mean, I'm
what
like,
like
I'm cynical. I'm kind of a cynic. So, and I like to make fun of people, but I'm not like, towards you, it'll almost never be directed at you.
okay
I might make fun of a client or something, or be like frustrated with something else, but not to you. I mean, I
yeah
love,
just to
I,
talk about it
no, I love everyone that we work with, and I don't, they're so, I mean, they're so kind. There's no reason to get mad at anyone, and I wouldn't, but I will, yeah, but I'm just being totally honest. Like I have gotten frustrated, and I've like sort of, um, I've, 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 I usually apologize for, my frustrations, but it's never, I promise it's not like I don't have an anger problem. I don't, I try to treat everyone with kindness, and I also ask that everyone is, treats others with kindness and respect. And so that's like, yeah, that I wouldn't see I don't foresee that being a problem at all. And yeah. So, but good
no yeah
question.
I
And
get it I get it
yeah, I don't know if you're like your work environment is like that right now.
It's because sometimes it happens, yes, because like when they have like a lot of things, like why you need to like put like your rage like in a meeting, like I'm just here like to help you, like I'm with the best attitude, like and that's something that I really don't want to carry on. Like, that's not like a path that I really want to follow. Like
Agreed.
if I'm kind of like make this change, like this new challenge, like getting to know like more people, like me growing. Like I really don't want to struggle with. I mean, you're gonna have yeah problems, whatever, like frustrations, all of this stuff. Fair enough, but it's not something I really want to. Like what you said is like okay, being like treated with respect. If we have like something that we need to like talk about it, like we are adults, like we can just like discuss it, like it's all right, and that's that. Like I'm very respectful as well. I will never like say like, hey, like this and that. Nope. That's not my personality. I always try to like speak up if I don't like something. If
Yeah,
you know, um, that's the
I
way that and I ask exactly the same, like from the other side. So that's something that I was just curious about it.
yep. Yeah, and I'm with you in that. And I don't know if you work with architects before, but traditionally like they're very, very respectful people, and it's just
Chill
they
vibes.
yeah, it's sort of it's an industry. My wife, Paloma, she's always surprised. She's like, you guys are so kind and respectful to each other. She's like, this is crazy. She's from Mexico City. I don't know if I've told you about her, but
Yeah, you told me.
yeah. So she's just like, I just can't believe like how nice you all are to each other. And I was like, this is just normal. Everyone should treat each other like this. It's unfortunate that it's not, but it really is like the best. I don't know. I don't think there's no room for bad attitudes, and so far like I probably have like the worst attitude, but it's only because I get frustrated with clients, and
Yeah.
and I have a lot of work going on because I need help because I'm doing too many things. So I'm it's okay. I made this. These are my problems. I made this whole thing, um but I'm excited to like bring someone else in and solve it. And we finally have like a little bit of breathing room to focus on things. So anyway, I don't want to take all your time. But I really appreciate meeting with you. And it was really, really nice to get to know you a little bit more.
Same, man. Honestly, I was really looking forward to have this chat. I was like, oh, I thought that it was yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, I checked my calendar and it was today. So
Cool. Good.
everything is all right. No, yeah. No, but
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, really
Cool.
nice chat. And yeah, I really enjoyed, like everything, as I mentioned, and this, like in our previous chat, like it doesn't feel like I'm being like interviewed. It's just like having a chat with someone, like to get each other, like get to know each other. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
to
pretty
be
good.
honest, it's gonna be if you choose to do this, it's gonna be more conversation. So it's like most of it's gonna be like strategizing with me and
Hmm.
figuring out a way. And I'm hoping, like, I'm really excited about this portion of the business because I want to work with someone that is excited about coming up with a vision and implementing it. And so it's like, I don't know. It's definitely gonna strengthen skills that you've never had the opportunity to even work on with me too. I've never worked on that, so it'll be new for the both of us. But um, I don't know. I find it extremely exciting, and I want to work with someone who's excited about it too. Because yeah, that's just I've already told you that, but I think it
Yeah, no, it is what it is. I'm with you, like I share, like exactly the same ideas.
cool.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Kazia, it's
Perfect.
been such a pleasure. I have a couple more second interviews. You're obviously like high on my list, so I will let you know. I'll let you know probably this week, probably by the end of this week. Um, and then if uh, if we move to like the last stage, just meeting the team, one more, quick, just like chat with the team, just to sort of vibe check. And then, which I'm sure is going to go splendid. But you'd meet Donashri and Sarah and maybe Diego. He's a contractor, but he's just so sweet. He's just a nice dude in Mexico City. I love him so much. We become really good friends, but he doesn't really work for us. He
Got
works.
it.
We hire him, but he's just like such a nice guy, and I want you to meet him.
Maybe we can have a I'm just thinking about it. Maybe we can have a little gathering in Mexico City, like
Yeah. Well,
that would be
we just
cool.
got back from there. We just went to dinner over in Mexico City and like last month
Got
for
it.
Christmas, and
Oh,
yeah.
that's cute.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I flew Sarah over from Torreon, and we just had dinner and hung out. We went to a museum, and yeah, it was super fun. But
That's
I want
nice.
to do a lot of I want to do a winter party. I want to do a summer party, but I want to like fly us to go like to the beach just to hang out and just chill. And so anyway, I've got lots of like I have lots of goals I want for the company. If there's,
Perfect.
you know, if everything works the way I want it to, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Got it. I'm down. And yeah, let me know. Obviously, I know that you have another interviews, but yeah, keep me posted. And yeah, looking forward to
Cool.
your email or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And just to know you, I know you're interviewing other people. Um, how do you like? Are you looking at moving forward with anyone else?
Not really. I think it's just like standby, obviously, because they are still doing some other interviews. It's exactly the same. I think like I'm in the last stage as well. Like for me, like to say like yes or no, like or like they should like move with forward with other like prospects. But I think I'm in that stage. Like what is literally what I'm looking for is some like a place where I feel like okay, value, like obviously that I can enjoy myself, that I can grow, and that I see myself in, I don't know, I don't want to be changing, as I mentioned, like in 2 months or whatever, because that's
Totally,
really sad, like I don't want to invest my time in something that I'm not really enjoying it. I really want to, like grow this path. As I mentioned, like I'm not I'm not that, not personality is not like that. I don't want to be jumping like from this, applying to this, that. And also it's like a headache.
same.
Like applying to
Yeah,
jobs, like I don't like that at all. Like
totally.
promise. I don't
Yeah,
enjoy it. So if you feel
me neither.
confident and that you have like a very good feeling about it, like just go with it. So
Totally.
I just need some time, like to process like, okay, I have this and that. Okay, I see this, like just to process everything and then we go from there.
Okay,
if that
cool.
makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, if you decide to make accept an offer, just let me know. Because I know we're both, I'm interviewing you, but you're also interviewing us, so I get it.
I know, but yeah, let me know and then we go from there. Like what's your decision? What do you think about obviously, like the salary, and then we go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good? Sounds like a plan?
Sounds like a plan. All right. Thank you
Perfect.
so much, Kasia. It was such a
Thank
pleasure talking
you.
with you.
Yeah, same. I really enjoy it. Like have a good day and yeah, talk to you soon, hopefully.
Okay. Yep, you will. You will. All right. Take care.
Perfect.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Adios.